Hi everybody, super excited to review my favorite business class airline in the world, Qatar Airways. I'm going to start with their A350, their Flagship Q Suites, and also their new 787-9 Mini Q Suites. What's going to make this video even more exciting is that I'm going to share you tips and tricks of lounges before the flights and also how to access our Safwa First Class Business Lounge in Doha, in addition to all the little tips and tricks of how to score a sleeping lounge there. And definitely stick to the end because all the amazing food Qatar Airlines offers I'm going to showcase. Well, let's get going. For this trip, I started in Dallas-Fort Worth, connecting to Doha, then to Hanoi, Vietnam. Starting the trip out with Flagship Lounge access as concierge key, have access. And also I use a certificate for Flagship First Dining. Once you reach about 400,000 points, you can redeem for that. The certificate is good for 2 people, so traveling as a couple, it works perfectly. They have delicious salads. Their main entrees are on point. This is a mushroom stew. Their bison is delicious, one of my favorite dishes there. And lastly, their champagne, which is the Palme d'Or. It's a great tasty champagne. I'm just glad American Airlines did not cheap out on their champagne selection. This is my favorite dish, the tiramisu. After Flagship dining, we boarded the A350. We selected the center rows for couple seating and row 7. That's actually my favorite row. I always choose row 7. And you can see how spacious the seat is, how big the TV screen is. As for controls along the side, there's also a remote controller that is touch point. And I love the hand control. It's intuitive, responsive touchscreen. You control everything from there. Right next to your right hand side or left hand side, you press the lever and opens up a small storage space. Headphones are there, and also a water bottle is always there. I usually pack my clothes after changing pajamas. I keep it there. That's the button to unlatch it. The headphones are decent. It's a 3-prong mechanism. You insert it next to the plug. However, tip number 2, I always recommend bring your own headphones or earbuds. I personally prefer earbuds. That way there's no prolonged pressure over the ear. As for we're in that storage area, there's one more lever underneath the main lever. It allows you to raise the armrest. And tip number 3, if you're sitting as a couple, ask the flight attendant to lower the center divider all the way down, so there's a lot more space. Here's a shot of the footwell space. Personally, I feel it's a little bit more restrictive than other airlines. Another tip with any airline is to change into their pajamas right away, right after you get your pajamas. That way the bathroom is clean. You're not stepping on any fluids you're suspicious of. And here's my favorite part about Qatar Airlines, their meal service. It's dine on demand, meaning you have to hit the flight attendant button, let them know when you want to dine, otherwise you won't get service. Boosh was a tomato pesto with jelly pearls. It was delicious, great balance of acidity and sweetness. Next up was a corn soup, not too sweet. The salsa added some bitterness. It was really good. I ordered a salmon dish. The salmon was done nice and crispy. The risotto and relish was just okay. Overall mediocre dish there. This is the chicken biryani. It is absolutely delicious. I just highly recommend the chicken biryani at Qatar Airlines. For dessert, fruit bowl with their rosewater syrup and cheese plate. And this was their cheesecake option. That was really good on the lighter side. Qatar Airlines bathroom is a little bit on the smaller side. However, it has lots of amenities built in. On the drawer, you'll see toothbrushes. And my favorite part is the windows in the bathroom. It's a great view. Along the bathroom, there's a board you could drop down and you can put your clothes. Helps during the changing to pajamas. Once in Doha, you'll clear security again as a transit passenger, but don't forget about this teddy bear. For this trip, I upgraded business class to first class lounge access, which is their Al Safwa. It's about $165 per person. If you've never been, give it a try. However, you always have access to their business lounge, which are fantastic still. There's lots of water features. It's calmer, a little bit less crowded compared to business class. And here's a tip and trick. After a long flight, check out their spa, get a treatment. It's on around $110 to $120 per person, but their masseuse are really good. Having been to a lot of 5-star hotels, the massage here is fantastic. And here's a tip that I didn't know about until this trip, is that as a spa service client, you get priority to get their sleeping rooms. And usually the sleeping rooms, they get swamped, especially during rush hour traffic. So this is a huge win. We got booked right away as a couple. We got room 3, 2 twin beds. They're really comfortable. Has a bathroom and also a shower within the room. And without the priority, again, the sleeping rooms, they're so popular. They get booked out quickly. And here's a spa treatment room. It's a little bit on the warmer side. However, again, services are excellent. And if you get hungry, you get more food. So at the First Class Lounge, they have a QR code, you scan it. We started with Arabic coffee and dates, some appetizers, grilled scallops with truffle. Everything's delicious. My wife got the grilled chicken breast, she loved it. I had the shrimp biryani, which I love. And also dessert, traditional Arabic dessert. And more of a citrus base, more sour to kind of balance out the sweet dessert here. Well, time to board our Hanoi flight. Take the escalator, lots of shopping. Doha is such an easy airport to connect. We took the tram to all the way towards the other side of the terminal where the new garden setup is. Yes, they copied Singapore Changi Airport, but it's still beautiful compared to prior. Lots of pathways and walkways. They just need a butterfly garden to make it perfect. An exact copy of Changi Airport in Singapore. If you guys made it this far, thank you so much. Click and subscribe, help this channel out a lot. Goal is to get 500 subscribers. We passed 100. Thank you. Well, let's do it. 787-9, they're mini Q Suites. Let's see how it is. It's a gorgeous cabin, but I personally think the density is a little too much. There's a lot of seats for the cabin. It's almost a mini Q Suite setup, but a lot more technology. And the typical touchscreen controller. And next to it is a plug. You got your earphones again, and a bottle of water with a mirror. Something new is wireless cell phone charging capability. For the central dividers, it's no longer manual. Just hit both buttons together at the same time. You hit one, won't work. You gotta hit both at the same time. And here's the typical Diptyque amenity kits. It has all the facial creams, body lotions, socks that you need for this trip. Some people love the scent, some people hate the scent. Personally, I went away from the scent of Diptyque. I wish Qatar Airways used a more subdued scent from the Diptyque line, but the current one's a little too strong for my taste. Here's the white and black bag for both females and males respectively. And for the Hanoi flights, they offer pajamas, again, change out early in the flight. So here's the menu. Again, my favorite part about Qatar Airlines, their delicious food that's well presented. The biggest difference compared to a couple years ago is that the soup dish is part of appetizers. It used to be separate, so there's a little cost cutting going on. For our flight, it was a late night flight, I should say early morning flight, so a little bit smaller menu. Here's a drink menu. I would highly recommend always getting the Laurent Perrier Alexandra Rosé. It is absolutely delicious. Well, here it is, Alexandra Rosé. I was looking forward to this. Some flights have it, some flights don't. And cheers to all you guys. The other new thing I tried on this flight is their Saffron Karak Chai. It is absolutely delicious. I would always get it now. I started my meal with their pumpkin soup. It's always good, always delicious. Followed by their 5-spice short ribs. As you can see, it's a lot smaller serving than the longer flight. And their dessert, which is their chocolate cake. I love this one. This is actually my favorite dessert from them. The biggest negative for this flight is their leg well space is actually really small. There's a curvature of the other seat in front and limits your foot space. And here's me laying down. The shoulder space is okay. So although the cabin looks beautiful, I felt the mini suites to be a little too cramped for my liking, especially the footwell space. And here's the lavatory shot. On the smaller side again, has all the amenities you need, has a board to change, and also a window again. So in summary, I love the A350 1000 Q Suites. The new 787-9 Mini Q Suites, I'm not a big fan. I felt it's a little too cramped. Even though the soft product is the same across the board, I actually prefer the older 787 hard product, which is similar to what American Airlines has in their business class. Your footwell is a lot bigger, you get restful sleep, and the density is much less. Hopefully you learned some tips and tricks. Get a massage at our Safwa First Class Lounge. They give you priority for your sleeping rooms. In addition, check out their Karak Chai saffron flavored one. It is really good. The ultimate tip I could give you is that there's a lot of negative comments about lack of service on Qatar Airways. However, you have to know it is service on demand, meaning do not hesitate to press the call button. Otherwise, you will not get any service. So that's why it's dine on demand, especially your second meal. Make sure you reserve what you want for your second meal, otherwise it'll run out. And also, whenever you want service, hit that flight attendant button. Do not be afraid, do not be shy. That is the ultimate tip I could give you for flying Qatar Airways. Hopefully you enjoy this. Click and subscribe. Thank you so much.